Smile is a horror franchise that honestly deserves an apology from me. Smile, as a franchise, I am so sorry I ever doubted you, because years ago, back in 2022, when I saw that very first teaser or whatever for Smile, I was not impressed. It was not a film that looked interesting to me. I didn't watch it for 2 years until I started seeing the promotional material for Smile 2, which made me a lot more interested in the franchise, not just because of Naomi Scott, but I really like the idea of taking us down a music pop star is the one who gets that curse and what happens through that circle of events, and we watch this downfall of a person. Definitely reeled me in. I was like, okay, I gotta get caught up on this franchise. So I watched the first Smile and was absolutely impressed. Wasn't my favorite horror movie of all time, but man, Parker Finn was on to something, the director, for that first Smile movie. Now, it really does feel like Smile was the movie that needed to be made for Smile 2 to happen. Now, you might be like, well, duh, idiot. Obviously, if it makes money, they're gonna make a second one. No, what I'm getting at is it feels like Smile 1 was the concept film. This first film is meant to lay the groundworks to kind of prove to the studio that this concept can make money, the mass audiences will be into it, whatever. It feels like it needed to be made a certain way the first time around so that the director, Parker Finn, could make what they really wanted to make with the second film. So welcome back to Buddy's Big Screen. I'm Buddy. We're talking about Smile 2. This story was just a lot more interesting and engaging, and that doesn't discount the first film. It's just the first film, like I said, was very standard. Like the psychological stuff was very rooted in like the medical field and stuff, which is kind of common in this genre. I love the direction in this one. It's very clear, very concise, and like I said, this is the one that had all the passion in it. This psychological terror story of Naomi Scott's character, Sky Riley, basically dealing with the ramifications of an event that happened to her. I don't know what's in the promotional material beyond that first trailer or so for Smile 2. But I really enjoyed watching the downfall of this person, because that's what Smile 2 is about. It is about the slow destruction of someone's life, which is very interesting. It plays into the themes of addiction that come from this film, and I think they do a great side-by-side comparison through the through line of the narrative. I thought it was really cool. If you're a fan of horror movies, you know sound design, editing, and camera work are some of the biggest factors when it comes to a horror movie and making sure that it actually works. This film succeeds, goes to new levels that the first one could only dream of reaching. I think this is one of those cases where the sequel is definitely better than the first film. Smile 2 may be taking the cake for me this holiday season because I just fell in love with the characters. I love the world we're continuing to build with this Smile franchise. I honestly think this demon or demonic figure, whatever that face thing is, you know, the smile curse, it is so much more creepy in this one. The psychological terror that comes from Naomi Scott's character and what she has to deal with this curse for the next 7 days or whatever is insane. I assume if you're watching this, you've seen the movie, but if you haven't, I hope at this point you're convinced to go see it. And let's stop for a second and think, okay, maybe I'm not convinced to go see this movie. Well, give me 1 second. Let me try to convince you. You're following this character, this one protagonist, through 99% of the screen time, you're following one character. Things have to get dynamic, right? You have to have things constantly be changing and keeping you engaged in the film, right? The camera work does an immaculate job at doing that, and that comes from that direction and the writing. All that setup and build up, the foundations of filmmaking, all bring us to that final result, right? And I am in love with the camera work. The first film had very, very decent camera work as well, very quirky, and made it have its own distinct personality. The sequel only makes it better. I'm telling you, there are so many creative shots in this movie. I love the cinematography. There's so many different elements of the camera work that really gets better over time. And the reason that's so important is because the camera work and the sound design, the editing, the mixing is all about making those scares and those jump scares, the terror, come to life. Like when you as the audience member are really taken aback because you're so into the story, so invested that the film just reels you in, that because obviously we all know this isn't real, it's fake, you still walk out of the theater like looking over your shoulder, or the next time someone smiles at you, you may have a little bit of a wince to you because the movie is so encapsulating. It really sells the scare. It sells this horror in such a way, it packages it up in such a beautiful wrapping that you're just like, I just want to open this and see what happens. And then you open the box and you're like, maybe I'm not going to be sleeping tonight. Now, I will say that is how I felt for 99% of the movie. There is just a little bit of something that happens right at the end. Like, it's like one of the few final shots that they like really went for it in one aspect that I don't want to spoil. And I was just like, you kind of rooted me back into where I am. I'm actually just sitting in a movie theater. But I think that is just like a nitpick at best. And I don't even think that's a nitpick. It's just that moment of like, oh yeah, this is just a movie. I kind of forgot it's just a movie. Like, the movie does such a damn good job at getting me. Made me forget that I wasn't just in the film itself. But nothing works. Everything can be great, but if your lead actor isn't working in this role, the whole film isn't going to work, right? Because you're focused on one protagonist the entire runtime. Naomi Scott nails it as Sky Riley. What an amazing character. A very well-written character. A lot of subtlety, more depth to the character than I was expecting. Naomi Scott gives a very, very convincing performance. A lot of the shots really rely on her facial expressions or her scream or her vocals alone. And I think it's absolutely phenomenal. I mean, obviously the pairing of the director and of course this actor is going to bring out a bunch of different things, especially building off the foundation of Smile 1. But I didn't think we were going to have leaps and bounds when it comes to that performance in our lead. Naomi Scott is incredible. She's going to be in that future conversation when it comes to which is the best final girl of the year. Obviously, it's still going to Sienna for me, Lauren LaVara, but Naomi Scott, you're almost there because you had Isabel Merced, you obviously had Kaylee Spaney too from Alien, and then you had obviously Lauren LaVara from Terrifier, and now Naomi Scott, man, I don't know. This is an incredible performance from her. Very captivating. So it's been 48 hours since I started my journey on the Smile franchise. I'm walking out of Smile 2, a huge fan. Cannot wait for the third one. I hope this one makes a lot of money because I want to see where this demon goes next. Specifically, the very ending kind of gives us something that I was not expecting. So, minor spoilers just for the end of this review. I love the movie. It was very good. Please go watch it. Thank you so much for watching this review. Now, for the people who have seen the movie, the ending has the demon kill Sky Riley on stage during this concert, and everyone is there. Now, the way we know this demon has worked so far is that basically it moves over to the next person. If someone is killed in front of another, a witness, that's very traumatizing. How does that work on a scale of so many people who all came to see Sky Riley, someone that they idolize or adore, love, whatever, die right in front of them? Did the demon go to all of those people? That left me just with so many questions, because we have these ideas throughout the film that, you know, with the unreliable narrator stuff, that like, is there a way to combat this demon? Is there a way to fight it or make sure it doesn't go to anyone else ever again? Well, we don't get that in this film. They're teasing it for a potential sequel or a final film where they defeat this demon, but how does it work when someone dies in front of an entire audience? How does that work? And if people are watching that on a live stream later, how does that work for them too? Because we've never been in a circumstance where this demon has done this on such a large and big scale. I wonder where we could be going next, which is why I want Smile 3 to be completely different than this film. I want to give us a completely different type of protagonist in a different subsection of the world, whatever, do something unique again. But I love to play on this ending. I think there was a specific reason this was done in this way, and I'm hoping that Parker Finn and the rest of the crew have a plan for how to make a trilogy. Anyways, I'm out of here, you guys. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section down below. Did you watch Smile? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Did you think it was cringe like me? And then you finally bestowed your eyes upon the masterpiece that is Smile 2, and you've now joined the ranks of those who are a huge fan of this franchise. Let me know down in the comments. I'll see you guys later. Have a great day, and goodbye.